All right, buckle up everybody, because today we're diving headfirst into the thrilling world of Malaysian logistics.
Thrilling is right, and I'm excited to break it all down.
I can already tell this is going to be a good one, so set the scene, picture this, okay? Thousands of parcels zipping across a country with rainforests, mountains, islands, you name it.
Yeah, it's not your typical delivery route, that's for sure.
Not at all, and that's what makes it so fascinating. We're going to be digging into all of it using a document. It's called Advanced Logistics Management, Approach to Carrier Productivity. Quite a mouthful.
Definitely a mouthful, but packed with insights.
Oh, absolutely. And today's mission, should we choose to accept it, is to really understand the challenges and the innovations driving Malaysian logistics. So where do we even begin with all this?
Well, I think that the best place to start is with Malaysia's, unique geography, because it really sets the stage for the logistical hurdles companies have to overcome.
Okay, so let's talk geography, because I'm already picturing these delivery drivers as like adventurers, navigating through jungles and across choppy waters.
You're not far off, actually. I mean, the document even calls out this stark contrast. They call it the urban versus rural infrastructure gap.
Yeah, that sounds pretty intense. What exactly does that mean, though, like in practical terms, for these companies trying to get stuff delivered?
So think about it this way. You have these modern, bustling cities with great infrastructure.
Right. Smooth roads, clear signage, the whole 9 yards.
Exactly. And then you have rural areas where, well, the roads might be less developed, weather can be a major factor, and just reaching certain areas can be a challenge in itself.
Ah, I see. So you've got this constant push and pull between these two very different environments, and that has to make things pretty complicated.
Oh, it definitely adds a layer of complexity, especially when you factor in things like, the monsoon season.
Oh, yeah, the monsoon season. I hadn't even considered that. So now imagine trying to plan delivery routes when half the roads could be flooded. Talk about a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, it's definitely something companies have to account for. And then on top of all that, you've got the e-commerce explosion happening in Malaysia.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. I mean, it feels like everyone's shopping online these days. And events like Lazada's 11.11 sale just blow things out of the water.
They do. They generate a massive surge in orders, and suddenly you've got this avalanche of packages that need to be delivered.
Okay, so how on earth do companies even begin to handle that kind of volume? I mean, is there some secret formula they're using?
Well, it's not so much a secret formula as it is a data-driven approach. Companies are becoming obsessed with metrics, tracking everything they can.
Okay, so we're talking like delivery times, fuel usage, maybe even how many potholes the trucks hit.
Yeah, all of that. Think of it like a fitness tracker, but for their entire logistics operation.
I like that. So it's like they're trying to optimize every single step in the delivery process, just like we track our steps to hit a fitness goal.
Precisely. They're looking for inefficiencies, bottlenecks, anything they can improve to make the system run smoother.
And I'm guessing that with the e-commerce boom, those improvements are more important than ever.
Oh, absolutely, especially when you consider the scale of the operations. When we're talking about tens of thousands, even millions of packages moving around the country.
Right, and every little efficiency gain can have a huge impact on the bottom line. And I got to ask, are there any particularly clever strategies that these companies are using?
Well, one that I find particularly interesting is this concept of backhauling.
Backhauling. Okay, that's a new one. What in the world is backhauling?
So imagine a delivery truck, right? It delivers its goods, but instead of coming back empty, it picks up something else to transport back to its origin.
So it's like killing two birds with one stone, maximizing the use of the truck and the fuel.
Exactly. And Tesco Malaysia, the grocery retailer, they're a great example. They've implemented backhauling really effectively.
Okay, tell me more about that. How does it work for them?
So after their trucks deliver goods to stores, they swing by local farms on their return trips and pick up agricultural produce.
So they're not only delivering groceries, but they're also becoming part of this whole agricultural supply chain. That's brilliant.
It is, and it's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Tesco optimizes their logistics, farmers get their produce to market more easily, and consumers get fresher products.
Okay, now that's what I call thinking outside the box. Or maybe we should say thinking inside the truck in this case.
I like that, thinking inside the truck. That's a good one.
But speaking of trucks, let's talk tech, because the document also mentions some pretty exciting advancements happening in that area.
Oh, yeah. Tech is playing a huge role. I mean, we're not just talking about fancy GPS systems anymore.
Oh, those are still pretty important, right? I mean, I can't imagine navigating through some of those rural areas without a decent GPS.
Oh, definitely. But GPS is becoming so much more than just navigation. Companies like Ninja Van, they're using GPS data to track things like idling time and hard braking.
Right, so they're basically monitoring the driver's every move.
In a way, yes, but it's all about efficiency and safety. By tracking those metrics, they can identify areas for improvement in driving habits.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, if it leads to fuel savings and fewer accidents, it's hard to argue with the results.
Exactly. And that data has been pretty compelling, and Ninja Van's seen significant reductions in both fuel consumption and emissions.
Okay, so it's like having a virtual driving coach right there in the cab. But I can see how some drivers might feel a little uneasy about that level of monitoring.
Oh, there are definitely privacy concerns that need to be addressed,
Yeah.
and it's an ongoing conversation in the industry.
Right. It's all about finding that balance between leveraging technology for good while also respecting people's privacy.
Absolutely. But looking ahead, I mean, the future of Malaysian logistics, it's incredibly exciting.
Oh, I bet. I mean, with all this talk of e-commerce and technology, I can only imagine what's coming next. Are we talking flying cars, teleporting packages?
Maybe not quite that far yet, but we're definitely moving towards some pretty futuristic solutions.
Okay, spill the beans. What are we talking about?
Well, get ready for electric and hybrid delivery vehicles, AI and machine learning optimizing routes, and, drumroll please, even drones taking to the skies.
Drones, seriously, like delivering packages right to my doorstep.
That's the idea. They're already being tested in some areas, and they have the potential to revolutionize delivery, especially in those hard-to-reach rural communities.
Wow. And I'm guessing the environmental benefits are pretty huge, too, with the electric vehicles and all.
Oh, absolutely. Reducing emissions is a major priority, and these technologies are a huge step in the right direction.
So it sounds like Malaysia's really positioning itself as a leader in sustainable logistics, which is pretty amazing to see.
They are, and the potential goes beyond just deliveries. I mean, imagine drones being used for healthcare, delivering medicine or medical supplies to remote areas.
Yeah, that could be life-saving in emergency situations, especially in a country with such diverse terrain.
Exactly, and that's just one example. I think the potential applications are limitless, and it'll be fascinating to see how it all unfolds.
Well, you've definitely given us a lot to think about. We've gone from navigating treacherous mountain roads to drones dropping off packages. It's been quite a journey.
It has, and it's just the beginning. Malaysian logistics is constantly evolving, and it's an exciting space to watch.
Couldn't agree more. So to everyone listening, if you're ever looking for an adventure, maybe just track your next package delivery in Malaysia. You never know what you might see.
That's a great point. The future is happening right before our eyes. Sometimes it's delivered right to our doorsteps.
All right, on that note, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Malaysian logistics. Until next time.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure exploring all this with you.
And to our listeners, keep those parcels moving, and we'll catch you on our next deep dive.
See you then.
Bye. Bye.